Hello, good afternoon. Thank you to everybody patiently awaiting for RB Friday. Normally I come to you from sunny Buffalo, but you'll see here it's going to look like I'm in Buffalo with all of this snow. This is crazy. I'm actually coming to you live from Long Island today, out on the road a little bit, visiting one of our favorite customers here. So I'll give everybody a second to join since we're starting a little bit late, and I apologize. I kind of got caught up with some travel here. But RB Friday today, we're going to talk about some pretty cool stuff. So we're going to talk about trip importing today, which is something that, every software solution seems to have trip importing. But what should you be looking for in that trip importer? Everybody says, oh, we import Logisticare trips or MTM trips or MAS or whomever you work with. But what does that actually mean? So we're going to talk about 3 things you should be looking for in your trip importer today. So let's kind of dive into that. So first thing, in terms of your trip importer that you should be watching for. So number one, obviously it's going to bring data in, right? We want to see what information it's bringing though. Is it bringing in just information to complete a trip? Or is it bringing in some of the stuff I might need maybe on the back end when it comes to billing or compliance or an audit? Is that information coming in to help me in those situations? So what information are we getting essentially? We know we're downloading information. That's the whole point of an import. But what is it bringing me? The second thing, obviously, is there any manual entry required with it? So that import is only as useful as the information coming in. If I'm manually typing some information, I'm kind of eliminating one of the best advantages of the import, right? One of them is that I don't have to type all that info in. But the second thing is I don't have to worry about mistyping that info. We have customers where maybe they're only getting 3 or 4 or 5 trips from a broker or a health plan or whatever it may be in a day, and they say, oh, you know what, I don't want to do the import, I'll just type it in, it'll be faster. But you're losing the check of that accuracy, right? Where the information is coming directly from the source instead of bringing in that human element, which, we're not perfect, we make mistakes, right? So we want to try to eliminate that as best we can. So bringing the import, even if it's just a handful of trips, bringing all that data over eliminates that manual data entry. Third thing that you want to be looking for, so this is the one that is the biggest difference from one provider to another, and it is what kind of validations are you getting from your trip importer? Is it just believing the data that's coming in, or is it doing checks? So, for example, some of the checks you might look at, is it looking at the addresses and geocoding them? Is it confirming that that address is real? Is it going out to Microsoft or to Google or wherever it may be to check that address and say, yep, this place exists or this place doesn't exist? If it is not checking those things, that's one way you can run into some problems where you're sending a driver to the middle, to something that isn't real. Maybe your mapping is not calculating mileage properly, which could impact your billing. A lot of bad things can come with not making sure those addresses are perfect. So one of the cool things, like in Routing Box, for example, not only do we geocode the address, but we save changes. So if it should be Smith Road instead of Smith Drive, and for some reason your broker keeps making that mistake, you can set it so it automatically changes that. So that's pretty cool. So that's one of the features you're definitely going to want in your importer. The other validations it's going to do, it's checking against your client's profile within your software. So is your software creating a profile for all your clients? Is it keeping track of all of their trips, keeping track of things like their trip needs or their mode of transportation? And one of the worst things that can happen is someone makes a mistake, and this passenger that's always been a wheelchair ride in the past, they come through as a livery ride, and now I'm sending out a sedan to pick them up, but it should have been a wheelchair ride. Someone just made a mistake. So now I've got this sedan, I've got this person that needs to get to their appointment, and the sedan obviously can't take them, right? That's a problem. So that can go a long way with saving you time. That's not only is it frustrating for the customer is now mad and frustrated. They're going to be late for their appointment. The right vehicle didn't show up. It's not a good situation for them, but it's not a good situation for you either, right? You now just wasted a resource where you've got this sedan that could have been taking other trips that showed up. Now it's, you've burned all that driver's time. You could have handled a couple more trips more efficiently. Could impact some other trips that are going to be late. And I've got to pull a wheelchair trip from somewhere else to now take this upset customer to their appointment late. Just not a good situation. So that, amongst other things, validating coding and things like that, these are all things that you want your trip importer to do. So, when you're shopping your software, when you're looking for the best tools for your business, when you're looking at that importer, don't just ask, hey, can you import trips? Ask that software provider, hey, tell me about your trip importer. What can it do for me? How is it going to help my business? Does it do these things? That's where you will see a huge lift in terms of your productivity and your efficiency. So we thank you for joining IB Friday. I've got to run now, but check your email later this afternoon. We do have some cool things going out in Routing Box that we want you to know about. I will probably do another live stream maybe later today or on Monday to tell you more about those things when I have some more detail on exactly what is going out. We have some cool stuff that's in the pipes. We're not sure exactly what's going to launch today, so we're going to keep it top secret until Monday. But watch that email for this afternoon, and I'll live stream on Monday to tell you more about it. So join me then. Until then, we thank you for watching and have a great weekend. If you have any questions about our importer or about Routing Box, if you need anything, you can reach us directly. And again, this is whether you're a Routing Box customer now or you're interested in learning more. If you're not a Routing Box customer, that number is 716-202-9121. You can also shoot us a message here on Facebook. We check those all the time. Or even comment right on this video, and we'll make sure we respond to everybody. So again, that number is 716-202-9121. Thanks so much for watching today, and have a fantastic weekend.